right, let's keep this going while I get a scalp massage. Oh my, this guy, he's a space camp counselor, so he's going to tell us the science of how annoying your child is. Put your hands together for Christopher Malak. Christopher, get up here.
Good evening. My name is Chris. I am a space educator. I work mainly in museums or after-school programs and summer camps. It's very possible that I've worked with some of your children. I just want to apologize. I'm sorry. Anyway, tonight I want to talk to you about something that is very pressing to children of this generation, and that is space cannibalism. Before we get there, though, it's important you know a few things. First, kids are natural scientists, and they're way better at it than we are. They are constantly exploring the world around them. They're pushing boundaries, and they're experimenting. And as adults, we spend all of our time telling them to stop doing that. We want them to sit still and listen, and please stop putting everything in your mouth. And yet, there are some adults that we beg to put some things in their mouth. School is a very boring place. And it's not the teacher's fault. They're in a bind. There's a test, it's very important to some people, and they don't have enough time to prepare for it. It's a bit like sitting on an overfull suitcase so that you can snip it closed, except the kids don't sit still. Also, I've learned the hard way that's not what babysitting means. Kids want to explore the world around them, but they also abhor plans. They are the personification of chaos and disorder. That's right, your kids are little balls of entropy. They ask questions all of the time. And it starts early. Their first question is probably, but why? Which leads naturally into, can we set it on fire? And then you end up at the natural stopping point of, what if on the space station one astronaut ate another astronaut and pooped out his hand? Which is an actual question I have received, but not one that you'll ever find on a standardized test. In a traditional classroom, a teacher with all of their constraints will probably be forced to answer those three questions with, be quiet, no, and, oh my God, I'm calling your parents. Whereas I have a little more freedom. I get to say, well, why do you think? Or, let me get the lighter and let's find out. And, okay, I have so many questions, but first, let's start with, how did the astronaut swallow an entire hand without chewing? I tried to stick my own hand in my mouth and it got stuck halfway. Then we can move from a discussion that is a rejected plotline for CSI, Low Earth Orbit, to emergency preparedness, proper meal planning, and how to deal with jackasses at work. To get an adult to explore in the way that a kid does, you have to get them drunk. Fortunately for me, kids are drunk all the time. Your kindergarten students, they're basically college kids who have blacked out on tequila. They have limited motor control, they're prone to tantrums, and you're probably going to see some urine. Anything that they remember the next day is a bonus. On the other hand, you have high school students. High school students are that late 20s introvert that complains about being at the party. And then they have 2 beers, and then they're having a blast, and they're the literal life of the party, and they have a good time. But they'll never admit to wanting to do it again. Learning is best retained, best remembered when associated with positive emotions, much like a drunken night out. The easiest way to get to positive emotions is to just let the kids play, and then trick them into learning something when they're not paying attention. The way I do this currently, I'll stroll into a room with 10,000 Legos, and I'll say, let's pretend we have a zoo. And I'm really sad that not all of the animals get to fly. So what can we build to make pigs fly? Now, I have no ulterior motives whatsoever for needing pigs to fly. It's just an example that just came to me in a fit of inspiration. Now, a lot of kids will immediately come up with a catapult that will fling the pigs through the air into the bacon factory. I'm a little more safety-oriented, so I wouldn't have come up with that myself until I had a few drinks. This weird trend, though, since I've come to Colorado, I've noticed for some unexplainable reason, every single kid will come up with some sort of gondola or chairlift system. Which is great, because now we can talk about motors, and the kids can experiment and play with gears and gear ratios. And this is very important to the kids because they all tell me that the pig wants to go faster. I have no idea how they determine the pig wants to go faster, but it appears to be a universal truth. Pig is to go faster as Tim the Toolman Taylor is to more power. And that's great because it leads to catastrophic failure. Some little tiny Lego piggy is going to plunge to its little tiny Lego death. It's a good thing we had that bacon factory. But mistakes are good and should be celebrated. It's unfortunate that there's no room for mistakes on a test. A wrong answer is a wrong answer, and that's the end of it. You can't learn anything from marking B instead of C on a standardized test. Even I rarely make mistakes sometimes. Sometimes these mistakes happen in a classroom. Right? And sometimes those kids will learn something from the mistakes I make. That sounds a little humble braggy, so let me rephrase it for you. I'm so awesome that when I fuck up, kids learn something and parents thank me for it. The most recent example of this was the last time that I did one of my favorite experiments. It demonstrates how oxidizers can really spice up a boring old rocket fuel recipe. Naturally, the kids want to blow something up. But I have to make them work for it a little bit. I need a little foreplay. So, I make the kids come up with all of the potential dangers and any appropriate safety measures that I should take so that I don't explode with whatever we're blowing up. Now, you might think it's a little dangerous to trust my safety to a bunch of middle school children, but I've done this a million times, and kids are really easy to manipulate. I can guide their discussions a little bit with a well-timed question or turning my head and raising an eyebrow, and they will eventually come up with all the appropriate stuff. This is a very useful life skill that they will carry for the rest of their lives. Once I'm satisfied, I was standing up front and I had a giant cotton ball soaked in liquid oxygen, and I held a lighter up to it. It exploded quite impressively, as it always does. The kids lost their shit, as they always do. But I noticed 3 new things. 1, my arm hurt. 2, a bunch of kids were asking, "What's that funny smell?" And 3, my left arm was way more bald than my right arm. So I'm not perfect, but I can guarantee you that if any of those kids ever set themselves on fire as an adult, they did it on purpose. Or they were drunk at the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Let's keep it going for everybody you've seen so far. Round of applause.